More NASCAR now on this championship Sunday, and for five-time Sprint Cup champ Jimmie Johnson, succeeding at racing's highest level is about more than his performance inside the race car. When he leaves the track, the race is far from over. On the verge of winning his 6th championship in 8 years, Johnson describes how training for and competing in triathlons has given him a unique competitive advantage. That's right, Donovan McNabb. Johnson allowed ESPN to accompany him during his rigorous training routine.
Here's the thing about greatness. It's greedy and boundless. It's up before the sun and chases down the light. It ignores the hour and embraces the labor. It's not a condition. It's a compulsion.
There's a mental component to this that is far more beneficial to me than anything else. Doing this and competing without pressure, it's like I'm free.
I feel for his little girls. They're not going to be able to play horse and lose to daddy or win to daddy. It's not going to be like that. Like, Jimmie is very competitive.
He has that fearlessness about him. Just an incredible intensity.
His training is so high and so much above just the normal athlete at this point that it's pretty remarkable.
There really is an internal competition that I have. I like to get inside my own head than compete against myself.
We see the champagne spray, the hat dance, the trophies gleam. This is what we don't see, and most don't know. When Johnson leaves the track, the race is hardly over. It started a year and a half ago when he first competed in a new venue. July 2012, he entered the Charleston Sprint Triathlon, the morning after racing at Daytona. Johnson finished 7th in his age group, but beyond the result, it was the commitment and the challenge that sparked him.
Training and suffering and even competing in a triathlon is a lot like suffering in a race car. The mental space of dealing with your own struggles is something that is very common between the two.
Well, everybody come along with me. I'll take you to a place you never did see. You got a rhythm with the 2 left feet and a big brass band on the moonlit street, yeah.
When I first met Jimmie, he could pretty much go out and run 4 to 5 miles comfortably. Right now, I think he has marathon out there in his future. In the pool, most workouts we can be rather competitive and aggressive. With Jimmie on the bike, this is where he gets a lot of his parallels to racing. When he's hurting that bad and his heart rate is screaming, if he can do that, he can pretty much hold it together at the end of a race.
Sometimes when you're in the race car, you need to deal with the car that's not driving right, but not lose time. You know, run right to that ragged edge and not cross the line. And that's the same thing with the half marathon I ran or the triathlons I've done. You know, you find that pace, you know, right at the edge of your heart rate where you're gonna shut down and learn how to keep it there. And it's not comfortable.
For Johnson, the training isn't merely about becoming a better driver. He's already one of the best drivers ever. Instead, the countless miles, the thousands of meters, the winding trails, they have become an end in themselves, as much an outlet as an obsession.
When I train, it's one of the few times that I have a quiet space to think. I do find myself really focused on my responsibilities with the race team. I do a lot of visualizing and trying to think about the racetrack. I just think I've evolved and I've grown. I'm doing everything I can to win races and championships.
Here's the thing about greatness. The road doesn't end. The light doesn't fade. The season never stops. For Jimmie Johnson, it is a drive into history. And history is never finished.
Check out